Hey, 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 hey. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Dynasty Hot Sauce Podcast. And I'm Larry Monkey. And we're here tonight. Hey, FF Larry Monkey on Twitter. FF Larry Monkey, I don't know, at Dynasty Hot Sauce Pod on all the other socials. And look at this guy on the couch once again. Once again, he's on the couch. Man, the way you were sitting before, I had a nice view of the deer. Now we got the hot sauce logo, man, the deer head, but that big giant roll of toilet paper is still sitting there above you. Justin Rogers, what's up, my man?
Yo, what's going on? Don't worry. There's another deer coming that's going to be right there.
Oh, yeah?
So I'll have matching deer. Yep. But it'll be a while. It'll be next football season before I get it.
Hold on. Have you murdered the deer yet?
Yeah, I murdered that deer back in November.
So it's at the taxidermist?
Hey, look at you with that lingo. Yes, it's at the taxidermist.
I said that correctly?
You did. I'm so proud of you.
Up in the Northeast right now, talking to the Mississippi hippie. Man, speaking of Northeast, just got hit by, man, I got like another foot of snow outside. Here about maybe, I know this guy lives a little north of New Jersey, but I don't know, man. You got anything fancy to say about this guy, Justin? Or
I didn't come up with anything. Here. Well, I like to be witty, but dadgum, not like that.
I have a Gridiron Scholar T-shirt, but it doesn't fit me anymore, man. Hey, we're talking about the Gridiron Scholar, Johnny Law, man. Welcome back, baby. It's been a while, man. It's great to see you once again.
Well, great to see you. I think this might be my 5th year in the last 6 I've been with you guys, something like that. It's definitely been a while. So your kids are no longer really young, Larry. They're older now, right? They were babies, I think, when we first started.
I'm older.
Justin has a young kid too, right? When we first started, Justin.
Yeah, when we first started, I had a young kid, and then I have another young kid. Larry has another young kid.
Oh, Larry has the second one.
Yeah.
Well, now we're walking at 10. We're 10 and 4 now.
Right.
My two. And I'm an old timer.
The 4-year-old has nonstop energy, huh?
4-year-old has nonstop. I mean, I don't even know if you can call it energy. It's you could power a generator with the amount of energy this guy has, man. It doesn't stop, and you might need it with all this weather we're getting, man. How did you get hit up there in Connecticut?
We did. We got a little lucky compared to Boston and Rhode Island north of us, but we had 16 inches on the coast here. I'm on the Long Island or New Haven Harbor, Long Island Sound, but 16 is a lot. It was pretty meaty. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, pretty much the same here. Same here, man. Holy moly, man!
A whole different world up there. It's shorts and t-shirts, 80 degrees. It's nice. Although I tell you what, it got down all the way to 28 here on Monday night or Tuesday night. I can't remember. Hey, frigid.
Justin, this would blow your mind. It was like 30 degrees yesterday. It was hot. Larry must have had in New Jersey. We were like single digits for 2 weeks, man.
Right.
Yep.
When it's 1 degrees out and then it's 28, you're like, oh my God, it's beautiful.
When I was in Yellowstone, if it hit 25, 30 degrees, we were skiing in shorts and a long sleeve. We would go cross country skiing in shorts.
Just today, it was 44 degrees today, and
my daughter was gorgeous today.
My daughter was like, "It's hot." She said, "It's hot. It's hot." She had to put the windows down in the car. She's like, "It's too hot." 44. But I don't know, dude. So what's been going on, man? We haven't seen you. Let's what have you been up to?
I'm still, this is my 21st year teaching. Thinking about retirement. I need that magical 25 years. So 4 years is forever, but in some ways it's not that long, right? So but I'm just working on, I just finished I think I've looked at 82 players on film now. I just finished the last of the tight ends this weekend. So, on player profile are my written articles with the scouting reports and the player's background. And then I have all my rankings in my model are up on them. I have my own site now, the College Fantasy Football Hall of Fame. If you go there, it'll have all my rankings. Like right now, I have my quarterbacks open, 13 quarterbacks ranked in my model benchmarks why I like certain players statistically. A model does not guarantee success, but it gives you a framework of how to rate these guys.
Sure. So is this the time period where your students are watching movies and you're like in the back of the classroom with your laptop open watching film?
I wish I could do that. Unfortunately, I'm not that. No, I honestly, I'll do it. Honestly, if it's my period off, you get one period a day where you can do studying or grading or preparing for class. I might whip in some game film then, but not in the class. I'll be a good boy there.
Does anybody come to you for advice? Any of your high school kids for fantasy football advice at all, or any prospect profiles? They hit you up.
So this is going to be fascinating. I work in an art school. 70% of my students are female, and I would say maybe 10 or 15% of the young kids like football. They'll ask me in general, but they don't seem to play fantasy football. I sometimes wonder if I was in a different school, how different it would be. I kind of like it. I'm kind of under the radar in a way. Like they don't know what I do. I mean, if they ask me, or sometimes they'll Google, kids Google who their teachers are. And like my stuff, they're like, Mr. Lobb, you're like on Player Profiler. I saw your name. I'm like, yeah, I do fantasy. And they're like, what's that? And awesome. But so it's kind of healthy for me to get away, if that makes any sense. Like, I have this whole career that has nothing to do with what I do in my hobby. So it focuses me in other areas, which I think is somewhat of a healthy thing.
Yeah, you can separate them a little bit.
Yes, and it's just, this is just what I do because I enjoy it with you guys and sharing what I think about players,
Speaking of players, what are we looking at here in the 2026 NFL draft? I mean, just as a whole, because you analyze the whole draft, not just fantasy football relevant players, right? Aren't you like?
Well,
not so much.
I used to do other positions more. Now I focus more on the skill position. So what I'll do now that I finished, I said I watched like 86 players now. What I'll do is I'll start looking at some edge rushers, offensive linemen. I like the big guys. Probably the only area I won't look at is cornerback. I've watched the receivers. I don't want to watch one-on-one cornerback coverage right now. But I do like the linebackers. I do like the big boys because we know if you don't get the offensive line in the front seven on defense, you're not going to win the Super Bowl. You can say what you want, but Seattle's the big untold story. I'm going to digress. Everyone talks about Sam Darnold. I get it. Everyone talks about that defense. You know what no one talks about? That improved Seattle offensive line. When they were with Pete Carroll, that offensive line was like terrible year after year. They were really good the last 2 seasons. I think that's the untold story of the Seattle Seahawks is how good that offensive line plays now.
Speaking of Sam Darnold,
your Jets. I know Larry's a Jet guy.
There he is. There he is right there. That's Sam Darnold.
Hey, you know what? The longer I do this and the longer that I think about quarterbacks and their trajectory and how they succeed or fail, the more I'm convinced it's the organization that fails these young men most of the time. And I don't think there's anyone better than the Jets at failing people. They literally, as an organization, what?
You could say the Browns too.
Well, the Browns are, yes, okay.
You got a neck race here.
It's a struggle between the Jets and the Browns. I mean, literally, Larry, how many quarterbacks have you gone through that have just turned? I mean, this is just, it's pathetic now.
All of them.
Yeah. I mean, you look back, right? How good was Mark Sanchez compared to all these bums there? Right?
It's, I
bad when we're celebrating.
Another quarterback they kind of destroyed, literally.
Yeah, you think about it. He got to the AFC championship game 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row.
And then he had a good third season, if my memory serves me. But they weren't as good as a team. And then after that, just boom, the bottom fell out.
Yeah, they had it out for him. I don't know how that went down, but but whatever, man. It doesn't even matter. He's just another, check mark on the endless terrible quarterbacks that they've had. No one can take them over the edge, but they almost had a shot at the number 1 overall pick this year, which everyone seems to think is going to be Fernando Mendoza. Where are you at with him? Is he the man? Is he going to make a difference this year? Is he going to be a Joe Burrow, or is he going to be a Kirk Cousins, or what are we thinking about?
He's not Joe Burrow. He's not that elite prospect. Okay, I have him in my since 20. When did I do this first? 2014. If I had my top 25 quarterbacks since 2014 as prospects, I really believe that Fernando Mendoza would be like number 10 or 11. I haven't really sat down to finalize those numbers, but that's my, looking at the numbers, watching him this year, what he's accomplished. I will say, as far as on the field is concerned, this is not fantasy. This is not a prospect. In the last 25 years, I think Fernando Mendoza had the best season since Cam Newton when he led Auburn to the national title, and since Joe Burrow when he led LSU to the title. I can't think of 2 better quarterbacks. I mean, Fernando Mendoza was 16-0 at Indiana. Do we really understand what he accomplished?
Yeah.
Like, literally, I think Indiana's one of the biggest losing programs in the history of college football. Like, their record is like the exact opposite of Michigan. 350 wins, 800 career losses or something. Like, they're so bad. And he led them to 16-0.
Right.
He beat Oregon. He beat Ohio State. He won the Big Ten championship. He went through the gauntlet of the CFP playoffs. He beat Miami with an elite defense. I mean, literally, if we really think about what he did historically, he had a season that of the ages. I'm trying to think. That'd be like someone going to Vanderbilt. Well, Pavia led him to 10-3. It's still not the national title. I'm trying to think. Where else would be that bad if you were in the ACC? It would be like leading Duke.
Yeah.
It would be like leading Duke to the national championship. No one could picture Duke as a national championship in football. And Fernando Mendoza did it at Indiana. That's amazing. I don't think he gets enough credit for and Kurt Cignetti, the head coach, no question. But to do what he did is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So he's a lock for the 101. You think the Raiders?
Yeah.
Raiders would not be stupid to entertain moving the pick.
Look at how long have we been looking for a Raiders quarterback? Right. Since Jeff Hostetler? I mean, I guess Rich Gannon. Let's be okay. Rich Gannon, third of the 20th century. You have Ashton Genty. You have Brock Bowers. So you've got 2 pieces that can help the young man.
Right.
You can draft a wide receiver in round 2 or 3 or sign someone. They can get other help, right? So then you say you bring in Fernando Mendoza. They have one big problem they have to address. They have to improve that offensive line.
They might have 5 big problems.
Well,
5 offensive line positions.
But
they got
let's say they bring in 3 new offensive linemen. I think with the right offensive line coach, you can fix that quicker than most people think. And I think the Raiders have tons of money under the salary.
$91 million right now. They're second most in the NFL.
There you go. So you can sign 2 or 3 that's what I would do first. What's the center from Baltimore, the Ravens center, who's a free agent? I'm just putting $30 million on
Linderbaum or whatever.
I'm putting $30 million on the table. Because here's what you got to do. You got to protect that quarterback, and you got to protect him in the middle. And you get a veteran offensive lineman, a center who's great. Let him call signals. Fernando Mendoza calls audibles in the pass run game. You let the veteran center call the audibles on the offensive line, right, and you bring him in. And that would help Mendoza beyond anything else you could do.
Wow. See, who's the highest paid center in the league right now?
I mean, I think the guy on Baltimore is great. I think he's a great center.
18 mil a year is the highest. So they wouldn't have to offer
22.
Yeah, right. 22, 24 million. You're like, hey, come on. Yep.
Yes.
So, I mean, we don't have to go too far into the quarterbacks because there isn't really much after Fernando Mendoza,
No, it's
right?
ugly.
You said Files. I was curious why you had more than one for this year. I don't know. Man. You just stop it at Mendoza and then just go to the next position. God.
I mean, the only guy who's interested in my book, the only guy I like is Cole Payton out of North Carolina State. I have him as a 3rd-round grade. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's a project. He's a prod. You can't play him year one, but I do think he could have some utility in the right offense down the road. I do like him. I think he might be overdrafted, and that's going to be a problem, right? He goes in the 2nd round and he gets on the field too early. But I like Cole Payton.
Wow. I mean, I guess it's like pointless to even talk about quarterbacks anymore, right? There's nothing much.
I mean, do you want Carson back?
Right.
Okay. Not only are they not going to get drafted early in the NFL draft,
Yeah.
they're also not fantasy relevant.
No.
They're all pocket passers, stuck in mud kind of guys.
Yeah, I mean, even look at Garrett Nussmeier. He had negative. What do I have? Oh no, where's the rushing yards? Garrett Nussmeier had negative 153 rushing yards. Man, that is fantasy death. Like
Wow.
that is just there's no fantasy upside.
Well,
with
one
him.
thing to note is that sacks in the college count against your rushing yards.
Oh yeah,
So that's
But,
but still, like first of all, he wasn't getting sacked a ton at LSU, and second, that means he's not offering much at all, and he's just going backwards on all those sacks.
yes, and everything's relative. Everyone has that. So when he's so far behind every other player, it's just like, oh my God.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously, everyone's been talking about the running back.
Yes.
Jeremiah Love.
He's the real deal, but I'll say this. I don't have him ahead of Ashton Genty. I think this is the national media blowing him up to make it seem like I like him. He's a top 10 player in the draft. I think he's going to go in the top 10. He's by far the best running back in the draft. But I think it's kind of revisionist history. Ashton Genty was great. Forget what he did in Las Vegas. It has nothing to do with Ashton Genty as a prospect.
Sure.
Ashton Genty was a fantastic prospect. And I knew Las Vegas was going to be disappointing. I did not I wish I knew this. Did you know that Pete Carroll's son was the offensive line coach?
Oh, yeah.
Like, no wonder why that offensive line was a disaster. Like, literally, you put your son at offensive line when you're already a bad offensive line coach? Like, he had no offensive line in Seattle. Then he puts his son in charge. There are rumors, like the offensive line literally exploded on Carroll's in the locker room and film rooms. Like, they couldn't believe how bad of a coach he was.
So this could be a nice turnaround for the offense with a nice quarterback in the mix, and they got the skill positions kind of locked up outside of receiver. But even those guys were, I mean, they took what's his face, Besh?
Yeah,
I think we should start reaching on like trying to justify the receiver court. It's one of the worst in the NFL, if not the worst in the NFL. So
I mean, Kubiak will come in and he'll make a functional offensive line.
Right.
He will get Ashton Genty the ball more, get him in space more, and all he'll say out of his rookie quarterback, you're a 2-read quarterback. You throw it to the guy if he's open, you look again, if not, throw it away. Like, keep it as simple as you can do. We'll move the chains, we'll grind it out. I'm going to protect you. They just have to upgrade that offensive line.
Yeah, and I think the receiving class isn't great, but there's going to be some options there to improve this. This for sure.
There are going to be players on the board in the second round for the Las Vegas Raiders if they want a receiver there. Now, you could go offensive line. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but they've got to sign at least 2 free agents on the line. If you ask me.
I think we'll know more about where they're leaning after free agency.
I agree.
Get a couple big names.
If they sign 3 offensive linemen, they're going wide receiver in my book.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. In a rookie super flex draft, are you taking Mendoza over Love, or is Love locked into the 101 over the quarterback?
I'm taking Love without question.
Okay.
Because I don't think Mendoza's ceiling is Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts.
Sure.
I think he's more of your Jared Goff, maybe a Matthew Stafford if he got like with a McVay type, like, I'm exaggerating, right? If he was in the absolute perfect offense with playmakers all over him, just a real smooth offense. Jeremiah Love could win you a league. And a running back of Jeremiah's talent, I mean, in dynasty leagues, have you tried to trade for Ashton Genty? You're still paying the highest premium possible. No owner's given up. And Genty wasn't as bad as people think. I mean, I get it. He was up and down, but the Raiders were terrible. Yeah. Genty actually played pretty decent from a fantasy standpoint. And there are glimpses of greatness if you watched him this year. So I'm going Jeremiah Love.
So what happens after this? You got the quarterback and the running back out of the way. I mean, I don't know, Justin. Do you want to focus on the position here, or do you want to go down?
Well, let's talk about a couple of the other running backs because there's a couple of names that I think can climb.
Yeah.
But especially in rookie drafts, maybe not the NFL draft.
Yeah.
But in rookie drafts, they can climb. So where do you go after Jeremiah Love? What are you seeing, John?
So the combine right now, on my film study and my model, my second running back is Katron Allen of the Penn State. I think the NFL is going to love him. Now, obviously, athleticism is going to matter at the running back position. Not everything. It's not the end all and be all. But he needs to run. He's 220 pounds, 5'11". He has the BMI over 30. He needs to run, like under a 255. If he can run like a 249 or a 449 or 452, I'm all in on Katron Allen. And I'll say this why I'm hopeful. Anyone who studied Penn State athletes over the last couple decades, oh my God, I don't know what they're doing, but those young men are prepared for the combine.
Right.
So if Katron Allen goes out and shocks us either in bursts, like in the 20-yard shuttle or the 4-cone drill, and he runs a pretty good 40 at that size with his resume, I think the NFL is going to like him. Now, he's a grinder. He's kind of a non-explosive Ramondre Stevenson. Ramondre has that breakaway speed once he gets into the secondary, right? He can hit that home run. But I think a team is really going to like Katron Allen, especially in these committee backfields where you can put the 220 pounder in the third and fourth quarter with a lead and just ram them up the middle and short yards. I think and touchdowns are utility. I think there's a couple years we'll have double-digit touchdowns.
You see him in the second or third round in the NFL draft.
I want to say I have a second round grade on him right now, but I do need the combine. I could see if he's a little slower than I think.
Yeah,
he could go into round 3 in the NFL.
All right, so if he gets drafted in the second round of the NFL draft, then he's going to be a legit rookie pick.
Yes.
He'll move in. He'll move into the first round of a rookie draft in this rookie draft, I would think, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he gets second round draft capital, it changes. I'm a little higher on him than most people because I don't know what on tape he doesn't appear to have great breakaway speed. But that's football speed, and that's different, but he is running between the tackles. And I would say he's not a star on the outside, but you get him off tackle, not wide off tackle, he'll be okay for it. He'll be fine.
All right. So that's your consensus number 2 RB. Who do you got coming up in the third spot?
I'm waiting on the athleticism, but I do like Jonah Coleman out of Washington.
Okay.
And I have a day 3 grade on him. I don't think Jonah Coleman, I like him. He's 5'9", 220. His BMI is off the charts. He's a good pass catcher. There's really some things to like about him on film, but I think he dances too much in the hole. He gives up too many yards. I mean, I know, Larry, you must have watched. You're old enough to watch the Emmitt Smith Cowboys, right? I would assume you watched, right?
Yep.
Emmitt was so good at getting that 3 and 4 yards every carry, no matter what.
I always with his torn jersey and
yes, and he just if it was 3rd and 3, he got you 4, right? And I don't know if Coleman he jumps too much, right? He jumps upside, he dances, he looks for the hole. In the NFL, there's just times take your 4 yards and live for another day. That's why I like Gridiron Allen. He's just going to give you the 3 or 4 yards, and coaches prefer 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7. They don't want 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11.
Sure.
Excuse me.
Nice. Come on, K-Chan, Joel, and Coleman. I mean, now are we fading into no man's land yet, or?
So I'm lower on Jadarian Price than most people.
Mm-hmm.
I have him at number 4. I think the range of outcomes for Jadarian Price is astronomical. He could be a really nice 900-yard back with some home run capabilities, but I think he could phase out. We have never seen him carry the load. His biggest scrimmage yards dominator is 14%. That's really bad. Like, just given Gridiron Allen was 29% of the offense at Penn State this year. Jeremiah Love was 30%. Mike Washington, Arkansas, 24%. Emmett Johnson, Nebraska, 38%. Like 14%. We do not know if Jadarian Price can handle 20 touches a game at the NFL level. We've never seen it in college.
It's like a Roshan Johnson to
similar. Like, is he Rojan? Remember when you had at Auburn, you had Ronnie Brown and Cadillac Williams. I don't know where he falls. Yes, he had a star in front of him, but at one point, don't you think you get the ball a little bit like nothing? Like, there's nothing there in my model that says he's great.
Okay. All right. And then, God, is that it? Or I mean, I've been hearing a lot from. I've been hearing a lot of Emmett Johnson. Just like
I have Johnson at number 6 and Mike Washington at number 5. I like Washington because he's bigger, 228. I like that, but he fumbles too much. That's going to be a problem with Washington. Emmett Johnson, he's listed at 5'11", 200. I'm very worried that Emmett Johnson is 5'10", 194. Doesn't mean you can't succeed, right? We've seen Devin Achane, right? There are players, but that the chances are limited when you're that size. I kind of think Emmett Johnson is Amir Abdullah. Remember him coming out of Nebraska?
Yeah.
And Duke Johnson out of Miami. Remember Duke Johnson?
Out of
Miami? I tend to think Emmett Johnson's in that bucket. That's how I would rate him. Which neither one was a great fantasy asset, right?
Oh, terrible.
Duke Johnson had a handful of games where you're like, yeah, the dude's great. And then you put your eggs in a basket and he drops the basket.
Yes. And what did Amir Abdullah have? 4 great games in his career?
Isn't he still playing though?
He was with the Raiders last year or the year before.
Yeah, year before last, I think. He might have been on the roster this year. I don't know. Practice squad or something. I have no idea.
Yeah. I do think he's floating around.
I got one more name to ask about. What about Singleton?
Oh, I have him at number 7.
Okay, so he's right there next.
Yeah, I have
it's pretty thin.
I've tiered my players. Athleticism is going to matter in this 3rd tier. I have Price, Washington, Johnson, Singleton. That's my tier. Obviously, if Singleton does the Penn State thing, let's say he goes out and runs a 4.41. And his 3
He's going to run fast. He's a track guy, so.
I would move him ahead of Emmett Johnson and Mike Washington. And depending on what Jadarian Price does athletically. But they're all in the same bucket.
Wow.
See, that's the guy I could see climbing after this combine.
So here's what happens if you watch him. I agree. But if you watch him on film, he has no wiggle and no lateral cuts. He's a straight line guy, man. If you give him that lane, woohoo! He's gone, dudes. But how
Now-
often do you get that in the NFL?
That's fair.
Now, is there a chance any of these guys could hit it big?
Well, Singleton is the grand slam home run if he's athleticism and if he gets behind. I think he needs to be in a gap. He needs a gap. He can't. I don't think he's a great zone runner because he has to read and then he has to make a cut. Just put him in a gap and say, "Son, run behind the guard. Son, you're running off tackle." Like that is literally what he just does.
All right. I mean, guess we
And
gotta.
it is weird that they benched him for Katron Allen this year.
It is. That tells a lot.
Now, some of it might have been injury, but I was watching and looking for now we know in college they lie, they don't tell us anything. Like there's no rules, right? But man, there were games where he just completely disappeared and Penn State didn't use him at all.
Yeah, I think it matters that he became second fiddle this year.
I do. I mean,
That's what I thought.
whoops, Syria. I would say going in the year, Singleton I had graded higher, but why did the coaching staff put him on the bench? Basically, that you gotta be open. You gotta open your eyes. Like something happened, right?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he was dating the coach's daughter.
Or maybe just a better player in the field,
Yeah, no, I think Katron Allen did play better this year. I think that's a fact, right? I just think the film told you that he was a better player.
Two guys that were in the Devy world, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, were both, kind of big Devy names early on.
And I had for 3 years, I had Singleton over Katron Allen, but I have to be honest, I can't keep to my old convictions. I thought Katron Allen outplayed him this year, and I think he's a better prospect right now.
All right. Anybody else worth talking about from the running back world?
Only guy I'm very interested in. I don't know if you heard of Robert Henry, UTSA, 5'9", 205. He reminds me a little bit of Kamani Vidal. His yards after contact are spectacular. He's one tough little nugget running around. I mean, he just has a lot of Kamani Vidal in him.
There's been talk of him on Reddit, so people on that spectrum have been paying attention.
If you watch his tape, it is pretty impressive. Now, I do. Again, when you're at the G5 level, you're at a school like UTSA, he looks fast against those linebackers and those secondary, right? I need to see what his raw athleticism is because that's going to matter at the NFL level.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if he can't match the athleticism in the numbers, it's going to hurt his stock because everybody's going to question whether it's just because he was playing against a bunch of grocery baggers.
That's, I joke, but I mean it. He was probably playing against safeties or working at a grocery store a year or two from that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in a bad way, just they're not NFL safeties.
Yeah, they'll be playing some pickup basketball and doing nothing really as far as athletics goes because they're not elite athletes.
Yeah, they're great athletes compared to me or any normal person. They're just not NFL athletes, right? That's the problem.
Yeah, they can make average prospects look great.
Yes.
So, Larry, are you muted?
I think Larry's thinking.
I was muted.
Yeah.
I was muted.
So is there a big three for you in the wide receiver department? Or is there a big
yeah.
one or a big four or a big two?
To me, it's the big three. And I'm not going to break any news. Maybe my rankings are different and athleticism and medical reports still to come. But right now, based on my film study and production model, I am Mekhi Lemon at the top, Jordan Tyson second, and Carnell Tate third. Love those three guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you like Lemon the best?
Oh my God. I fell in love with Lemon watching his tape and watching him throughout this season. He's not the prospect, but I'm going to make an analogy here. And this is a vibe. Have you ever watched a football game and just got a vibe when you're watching the game, when you're watching an athlete? Like Barry Sanders, I try to tell my son when we watch tape. Barry Sanders was a vibe, man. When you sat down on Thanksgiving and you watched Barry Sanders, that you just knew there was going to be one spectacular run, and it was always off the charts watching Barry Sanders. And when I watched Mekhi Lennon, the vibe was Malik Neighbors. It's not the prospect of Malik Neighbors was, but man, is the kid freaking goddamn good. Like, he just blew me off the screen. He's tough as nails. Watch the game against Michigan. Holy shit, do the Michigan safeties and corners hit him sometimes. He is one tough SOB, man. He takes some brutal hits against Michigan, and the guy gets up, man. Now, he's listed at 5'11", 195.
Right.
I'm crossing my fingers. He's 5'10", 190. I'm okay with it. If he gets below, if for some people a joke is he 5'8", I don't think he's that short. But he does need to come in with near that size, if that makes sense.
Right. That's what the talk is about him is will his size translate to the NFL? But if he hits those measurables, then you should be okay.
Yeah, if he's 5'10", 190, I have no problem with him at the NFL level. We've seen successful players at that size. I just don't want him to be really shorter than that.
All right. And where do you think he goes in the first round? Not team wise, but like what part of the draft? You think this guy's like a top 15 pick, top 20, top 10?
I have a top 10 grade on him.
Okay.
However, we do know the NFL likes size. In general, right? They prefer size. So I could see when any team in the top 15, they're looking for wide receivers, they might prefer the two big. Both Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate are both 6'2", 6'3", and they're both around 200. And I think they're legitimately that size. So if an NFL team is looking at that X position outside, they might prefer the big player. But I'll tell you, I love the versatility of Mekhi Lemon. He's definitely a flanker. He definitely can play in the slot. He's not a pure X, but if you put him at the X once in a while on a few plays, he'll be fine for you. You know, you can't put him out there on the X all day long for 40 snaps. But if you put him out there for 5, 6, 7 snaps to like kind of make the defense alternate or think what they're doing, I think he'll be fine out there at that time. But Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate, well, more Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate is your classic X. You kind of just put him out there and let him play at the X. Jordan Tyson is both a flanker and an X. I think you're going to move Jordan Tyson around a little bit more, but he's got the medical problem. Like, what are the medicals saying? We don't know for sure.
Right. The knock on him is that he gets hurt a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Now the good news is it's not. He had the ACL. He had what do they call it? The Holy Trinity: ACL, PCL, MCL. Yeah. That was at his end of his freshman year at Colorado. Then he missed an entire season at Arizona State. So he was like 19. Then he had his great season, his off-the-charts season in 2024. So it looked like he was recovered from that injury. The injury he suffered this year has nothing to do with that leg. So that's the good news. Now, the weird news is he's not going to run at the combine, which people are wondering about the hamstring and all that. Maybe he wants a pro day. I'm not sure what his camp is thinking, but I think we still have to know. I'll say this. If Jordan Tyson falls out of the top 20 picks, the medicals came out negative.
Sure.
That's all. I mean, they won't tell us. But if he falls past the top 20, some teams have concerns about his medicals.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because on the field stuff, he's been electric. But.
He's unbelievable when you watch him on tape, man. He's great. But a playoff team might take the risk with the medicals, right? If you're team 24, whoever it is, they might just say, you know what? The upside is too good. We're going to take the chance that he can be healthy.
Is he your number 2?
Yeah.
You have him over Tate? Okay.
I do. My model likes him better. I like Tate, don't get me wrong, but there's two things that concern me. Receiving yards per team pass attempt. I have a benchmark of 2.5 yards for receiving yards per team pass attempt. Just to give you a perspective here. Mekhi Ledman is 2.96.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Tyson's 2.88. They both exceed my benchmark. Carnell Tate is 2.14. That's a little bit of a red. That bothers me as far as the red flag right there. I also wonder about his career production. He was never the alpha male. The people he played with is just sick.
That is the big thing here is that his teammates, the quality of people that he's playing next to is entirely different from Lemon and Tyson. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I will say this also, he gets the better matchups.
Sure.
Because when you play Ohio State, there was one guy the last 2 years you had to cover. Everyone already knows his name. He might be the number one pick in the NFL, Jeremiah Smith. Right. Every defense said we need a safety over the top and we need a cornerback press coverage against Jeremiah Smith, or we'll play him off the ball against Jeremiah Smith. So what does that say to me? That Carnell Tate had the advantage of more advantageous matchups. Your defense was not worried in general about Carnell Tate with Jeremiah Smith. So could he go into the NFL? Can he be the undisputed, alpha dog? Like, look at what Mike Evans could do he was the alpha dog, mentally, physically, skill-wise, everything. I think Mike Evans is one of the best receivers. He's awesome. I don't understand why people don't talk about him more.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got that mentality. I'm not saying Carnell Tate can't be that, but we haven't seen it. It's interesting. I was thinking about Mike Evans as the prospect, right? If you go back, I had him as a number 2 prospect that year behind
Odell Beckham.
No, Sammy Watkins was 1. It was that I had Odell at 3. I was
Sammy Watkins, yeah.
Most, but I had him at 3. And everyone thought Johnny Manziel was the star. You know what? Mike Evans won Johnny Manziel that Heisman.
Right.
And no one gives him credit for that. It was Evans who was that entire Texas A&M offense. Nothing to do with Johnny Manziel. Evans turned out to be the superstar. And people didn't see it. Like, they just didn't see how good Evans was. But I don't know if Carnell Tate can be that.
I can credit Mike Evans for me being a dynasty football degenerate because it was my first ever dynasty football league, the startup. I drafted a rookie, Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And I ended up, some guy wanted him so bad that he traded, and I didn't know what I was really doing. And he offered me 3 first-round picks for him, for 3 consecutive years in a row. And I took the deal and sold Mike Evans for 3 first-round picks. So my first ever dynasty league, the first 3 years of that league after the startup, I had 2 first-round picks, and I just got the bug just from having all those picks, and I just got that trading bug after that. So, and it's funny because Mike Evans, he was a guy that you couldn't even get off your team at one point. And this is a guy
remember the dynasty community said trade him, right? And I've had him too all these years, and every year he just produced and
1,000 yards.
And then he had Brady, so he went nuclear under Brady with the touchdowns. I really think he's one of the great all-time underrated receivers that I've seen in my lifetime.
Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, he's done everything you could ever ask. I mean, think about how good Odell was. But you look back now, Odell was a 3-year flash in the pan.
That's it.
Then he was gone, flamed out. I mean, he had injuries. I get it. Other things happen. But Mike Evans, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm old. If you play every day, you produce every week, and at the end of the season, I don't care. You're great. Do you have any idea of how hard it is to have 10 years of greatness at the NFL level?
Well, it's funny. Amazing. Yeah, it's like the last 5 years, he's been like an old guy in the fantasy community, and everyone was like just trying to dump him. I can remember trying to dump him like years ago. Like, oh man,
no one would give you. I'll give you a
he couldn't get rid of him.
But I was like, okay, it was funny this off season. I was trying to. Sometimes dynasty is so bizarre. It's the old adage. Sometimes the moves you don't make are the best. I literally had Javonte Williams on 2 teams. I kept offering him. You know how you had the trade, right? Your trade things. Javonte Williams, I just want to pick Javonte Williams. No one wanted Javonte Williams. One of the teams won the championship because of Javonte. And if I don't have Javonte Williams, I do not win the championship.
Yep.
But no one wanted him. So I kept like, what are you going to do? Cut him? No.
Right. Yeah.
You keep him.
So Tate is your number 3. And
Yes,
all these guys are NFL first round picks, for NFL first rounders.
I think they should all go in the top 15.
Wow.
That's how I like them all.
So how far is the drop off for you between 3 and 4?
So I think Casey Concepcion would be a steal.
You've always loved him. You always liked him, right?
I do like Casey Concepcion. I think he would be a great second round pick for the Raiders, but I don't think he'd last that long now. I think ideal world, he's a second round pick, but I do believe he's going to go in the first round. He's too much of a home run hitter. He can play special teams for you. He can do too many things that an offense likes. Now, he's got a giant red flag. He has a 12% drop rate. That's brutal. That's just outright bad.
That's brutal.
He's got to fix that, because we know a quarterback can withstand one drop. But if you start having a 10% drop rate in the NFL, the quarterback's not going to throw to you in crunch time. Your targets are just going to go down. That's just a simple fact. The quarterback's job and his mortgage is dependent on you catching the ball. You've got, it sounds silly, but we know there's a mental aspect, right? Why does Aaron Rodgers throw to Devontae Adams for all those years? He knows Devontae Adams is going to catch the ball. There is just that psychological, right? The receiver's special, and he's not going to drop the ball. So Casey Concepcion has to work on that. And he claps too much before he catches the pass. Yeah. But after the catch, before the catch, versatility, all of that is amazing. But then he just dropped. And here's the weird part. You can watch one game where he claps and drops it, and literally the next play, he makes a great catch 20 yards down the field. You're like, I can't believe that's the same player.
You got an NFL comp for him?
What?
You got a comp for him?
Do I have a comp for Casey? So I think his hands are like Quentin Johnson, but he's nowhere near the player. Quentin's a big
his hands are like Quentin Johnson?
Oh, yeah, his hands are like Quentin Johnson.
All right, pass. I'm out.
He's a better technician than Quentin Johnson, if that makes any sense. I would say he's Keenan Allen. That would be as a prospect. Keenan Allen coming out of California was very similar.
All right. Yeah, and he's another guy that had a pretty good college career, and then he transferred.
And I think Keenan Allen was a second-round pick. He was not a first-round pick. I think he fell to the Chargers. And, I mean, hey, I love Keenan Allen. I can't – in redraft leagues, this is before I was playing Dynasty. That's how old Keenan Allen is. Keenan Allen was like, every year I would get him in the 4th or 5th round. No one ever wanted Keenan Allen. I'm like, I'll take him.
You know why? Because he got hurt in the beginning of his career. I don't know if it was a couple years in a row, and then he was healthy forever, but he always had that injury bug just attached to him.
Yes,
that's why I stayed away from him.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love him as my second or third receiver. And then the thing was, he never had like that uber 14 or 15 touchdown season. Mm-hmm. He was always between 6 and 8. He just was consistent at that 6 or 8 touchdowns.
So is that it? Is there 4 wide receivers for you, or
So Casey Concepcion is in my second tier, and I'll tell you my second tier. Concepcion, Elijah Surratt, Denzel Boston, and Omar Cooper of Indiana.
Okay.
So Surratt and Cooper are both getting a good bit of hype now. I think they're climbing draft boards.
Yeah, I like Omar Cooper a lot, but I am worried about his speed. And I'll tell you why. If he was uber fast, why did he end up at Indiana? something tells me that he might have been slower. And now, it doesn't mean he can't change. Doesn't mean he hasn't grown. But I got a feeling his athleticism in high school was not as what you would think it is. So let's see what he is athletically, if that makes sense. Because if he was that uber athlete, he's not going to Indiana. He's just not.
I think most people are projecting him for 4.5x, like, hoping for low 4.5s.
If he does a 4.51, I'll be very happy.
Yeah. What does that mean? Is Surratt also going to run slow?
I think so. No one has an official time on Surratt.
I think he's slower than Cooper.
I do think he's slower.
He's a better receiver, but I think he's slower.
No, this is both Indiana wide receivers.
Yeah.
So these are two wide receivers that have Fernando Mendoza throwing them the ball.
Yes.
So that you got to take that into account as well.
And they ended up Indiana. If they were elite prospects, they would have been at Michigan or Ohio State in the SEC. I'm hoping for Surratt a 4.58.
Sure.
If he does that he's 6'2", 230. I don't think he's 6'2". Let's say he's 6'1", 210. If he does a 4.58, that's okay. I'm worried that he might come in at a 4.62, 4.65. That could be a problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if he's running mid 4.6s,
that's a problem.
That's an issue, especially because he's not, 6'4", 230.
Yes, if he was 6'4", 230, you could live with it. But at 6'1", 205, 210, you're not really going to live with it there.
Right.
Is there a chance that either of these guys could get picked up by the Raiders? And I mean, you see these guys as potential first or second rounders?
Now the buzz on Omar Cooper is getting out of control. Now, I think it's just because people are checking in on the tape. They've never seen him. And then you said you look at Reddit, right?
Yeah.
You look at X. When one of these guys become avant-garde on the social media, everyone jumps on board. I've had Omar Cooper at number 7 or 8 for the last 4 months. I watched him throughout Indiana. I was watching him in October. I had him on my college fantasy football team. I think he should have stayed another year in college. I'm surprised he came out, but I get it. He achieved everything he needed to. You're right about Mendoza leaving, right? So maybe he just said, hey, without my quarterback, I won the title. Let me, it's hot. The skillet's hot. Let me go in the NFL draft. I think he would have been better served for another year in college, but that's all right. I understand why he made his decision. But I think he's getting I have a second round grade. I don't think he's a first round pick in the NFL. But people are leaning that way. Larry, if the Raiders have Surratt or Cooper on the board at the beginning of the second round, they sign 3 offensive linemen in free agency. I think you go and get one of those guys for Mendoza. I do. Nice. I think you do it. Because he needs another receiver. He needs a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
The irony is they had it in Jacoby Myers and they traded him. Still one of the most weirdest things ever.
Yeah, Super Bowl champion Jacoby Myers. No.
No, he went to Jacksonville, right?
Yeah. Jacksonville made the move. They made the move, and then Seattle went for Rashid Shaheed,
who turned out to be didn't he return 2 kicks for them once he got there?
Yeah. It was a playoff game. I think the opening kickoff.
And then he did once in the regular season, I think, for Seattle.
Yeah. So Denzel Boston, is he falling off is he just falling down the charts here, or is he solid, sitting there, sitting pretty in your tier 2?
I have him as a second round grade. Some people just love him. I don't think he's 6'4", 210. Right? We know that these are the colleges, so we'll find out.
Yeah.
I think he's athletic, but I don't think he's uber athletic.
Uh-huh.
And he basically didn't do anything his first 2 years on campus. And again, I go back to the receiving yards per team pass attempt. My benchmark is 2.5. Denzel Boston is 2.28. He doesn't hit it. It's not a terrible thing, but it's not great, right? Here's an example. Elijah Surratt, his receiving yards per team pass attempt is 2.65. He's ahead of Carnell Tate. He's ahead of Casey Concepcion. He's ahead of Denzel Boston, and he's ahead of Omar Cooper. From a model perspective, Elijah Surratt's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good from a model. Now, it's obviously production-based, right? But from a model perspective, Elijah Surratt's really interesting.
Interesting. So this is your tier 2. Is that where it ends?
Yes, those are the 4.
How are we looking after that?
Draft Capital is going to, I'll tell you, I got 5 in the next. You ready?
Well, so are we done? Are we done with like the first and second round potential? Are we looking at day 3 guys?
In my grading, these are the 2 guys these are the 7 guys in the first 2 rounds.
Okay.
Now we get into what I would say round 3 or day 3. But I'm a hard grader. But here we go. I'm going to give you from 8 to 12.
Wow.
Antonio Williams out of Clemson. Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame. Ted Hurst out of Georgia State. Skylar Bell out of UConn. And Eric McAllister out of TCU. Those are my guys.
Any of these guys have the potential just like burst on the scene, or are these just gonna have to make the team special teams and they're gonna have to work their way onto the field?
The biggest guy I love, this is just my favorite, not necessarily the guy I love to tape the most. Ted Hurst, Georgia State.
Ted Hurst.
6'3", 207. 33% team dominator. 12.6 ADOT. 15.5 yards per reception. Really love him. 82 grade from PFF. But he's a G5 guy. We need to see athleticism on the young man to see if he can translate athletically to the NFL level. The guy who's the sleeper, and I think he's going to go in early day 3. Sorry, not day 4. Round 4. Skylar Bell out of UConn. Everything in the model says he's really, really good. The film is really, really good. But we'll see what the NFL thinks of him.
All right. What are you thinking, Justin? What are you looking at over there?
Justin's doing something. Is he looking at stats? What's he doing? Sleepyhead.
Oh, he's on mute. Oh, you know what? He's talking to somebody right now.
He is talking to somebody,
his wife.
guys.
Oh, he's his wife. Anyway, let's move on to the tight ends here real quick. I mean, I know there's not much to speak of, or is there?
Well, I do like the top 2, but I'm a little bit different. My top 1 is Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to get with the coach that uses 12 personnel, and he's going to be your pass catcher. I like him a lot. I think now the problem is Sean McVay has drafted so many tight ends, they don't need any more tight ends. Mm-hmm. But he would be a great tight end. I'll tell you where I'd like him to land. Seattle. They could really use a lot of the 12 personnel. They could use that pass catching tight end. They need someone to take a little pressure off of JSN. You have Rashid Shaheed. He has a role, taxes safeties, plays deep, big home run hitter. But you need someone else in the middle of the field to command some targets. I like Eli Stowers a ton, my friends.
Okay.
Very underrated. Now, he's not an inline blocker. I get it. He's not an inline blocker. But if you put him out on routes and you let him get open in the middle of the field, he's going to be a very good player at the NFL level. And Kenyon Sadiq, I have at number 2. There's some red flags in Kenyon Sadiq that I don't think people are talking about. His receiving yards per team pass attempt is awful. His yards per reception is not very good. And he's only got 80 career receptions. I get it why the NFL likes him because of the athleticism, but he's only 6'3", 245.
Right. Yeah.
He's not.
I mean, is this the new tight end that the NFL is kind of embracing? Is the smaller, like pass catching type of tight end, and is that what he's projected to be with that frame?
Yeah, I just don't think he's 110 target tight end. Now I'll give you who I like in my second tier. I'll take Justin Jolly at price over Kenyon Sadiq every day. Justin Jolly's 6 pounds heavier, same exact height, and you're going to get Justin Jolly in the 3rd round possibly of your dynasty draft.
Yeah,
and Justin Jolly has not technique-wise, not comp, but when you put him in the model, he's very similar to like a Harold Fannin coming out of Bowling Green.
Yeah, nice. That would be lovely.
You know, what if who is the crazy coach at the Browns who just went? Where did he go?
Oh, he went to the Falcons.
The Falcons. You know, Justin Jolly behind Kyle Pitts in 12 personnel could be really nice.
Yeah, hopefully they re-sign Kyle Pitts.
Aren't they supposedly franchising him from what I've read?
Did they? Has that started yet?
They were talking about it. There's reports that the Falcons are going to keep him.
Nice. Well, Justin will be happy. Run DFF will be happy because he's the Falcons fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Justin Jolly guy. I'll take him at price over Kenyon Sadiq.
Right. So we're looking at second rounder. So Sadiq's actually been kind of mocked in the first round in the NFL draft.
I think he's going to be in the first round, my friend.
And then you think Stowers is going to be the next guy? He'll probably go in the late second.
Probably either very late first, possibly.
Oh yeah.
Or somewhere's in the top 50. He's going to be in the top 50.
Okay.
And then Jolly's the X factor. I don't think he's top 50. I think he's first 2 rounds, early 3rd. Like maybe top 75.
So before we wrap things up, I want to hear about your Denver Broncos. What did you think this year? I mean, I know devastating end to the season, but
you know, my son and I are Broncos fans, and he was 11 when we won the Super Bowl against Carolina.
Wow.
And we had not, we got the playoff game where we lost to the Bills last year. So at least we got to see, that was the first time in like 9 years. But to see the Broncos this year and watch it together once in a while, because he's 21, he does his thing, has his girlfriend, you know how that is.
Sure.
But when we were able to watch it together, it was amazing. And we got a playoff win. And who knows, if we had Bo Nix healthy, it might have been different, the AFC Championship game. But, you just can't win a championship game with the quarterback performance that we had. Snow didn't help. But, Sean Payton should have kicked that field goal. I'll say that too.
Has Bo Nix surprised you, or is this what you expected?
I had him as my number 4 quarterback in that class. I thought Bo Nix was completely underrated as a prospect. My model liked him. I loved the film work. I didn't think he would transition this quickly to being this good, but I'm very, very, now it helped. Sean Payton's a good coach, and he has players. They have a defense, right? So he was able to grow and build, and their receivers aren't great, but they're not awful. He has some playmakers that he can, Cortland Sutton's a good professional receiver. And then he's got guys like Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant. Like, they're okay. They're all okay. They're all like 3rd and 4th receivers. But Peyton knows how to scheme them open.
Pat Bryant, you think he takes a step next season? Because if you hear some hype about Pat Bryant, like, he's going to be the the Michael Thomas
Yeah, I don't think he's that good. Michael Thomas was special.
Or maybe it was Colston. I can't remember who.
Or Marquise. That's a good one too. Marquise Colston. Oh my God, he was another guy. I love Marquise. You know what? For years I had Marquise Colston and Roddy White. Man, I used to grab those 2 guys year after year in redraft leagues. They were just so good in those 4th rounds of drafts back in the day. They were always sitting there. I think Pat Bryant tops out 50 catches, 700 yards if everything goes right. I don't think he's an alpha male.
Okay. RJ Harvey.
What?
RJ Harvey, real quick. What do you think? You think he's are they going to draft somebody else, or is
I'm convinced they're going to draft somebody or sign a free agent.
Okay.
I'm absolutely convinced. I don't think he feels comfortable going in the year with RJ Harvey.
I
I watched every game. there's flashes, but he wasn't there, and he wasn't there when you needed him in the playoffs.
Okay.
You know, so I think he's a rotational back with some upside.
Do you think they add some firepower to that offense, or do you think they go to defense?
They need a tight end really, really bad.
Yeah, Ingram yeah.
What made his offense special in New Orleans was Jimmy Graham. They're not going to find a Jimmy Graham. That's just, you know, come on. He's one of the great. He had that 3-year run that was just out of control. But they need a play. They don't have anything. The tight ends are pathetic. Like I mean, Evan Ingram is just whatever. I mean, he's not that good. He drops balls. He's running dink and dunk routes. Yeah, they need a tight end.
Yeah, it was terrible. He had a terrible year. Okay, maybe they go tight end and maybe take Sadiq.
I'd rather have them take Justin Jolly in round 2, but that's okay. That's what I want.
All right, man. Well, hey, man, we covered it. We covered the positions. And thanks again for coming out. And man, what do you let's tell us what you, as I cough right now, tell us tell us about all your big board stuff.
Sure. You can find on the Rookie Big Board on YouTube, Matt Hicks and I come out with an entire series called the Draft Seminar. Yeah. And we break down the prospects. Each one's about 15 minutes, and we do analytics and we do film study. And then to conclude the episode, what is their fantasy projection if you're going to draft him? What can you expect out of the young man if he's in the right system and things go well for him? That's the Rookie Big Board on YouTube. Check it out. And then all my written profiles are on playerprofiler.com. Actually, today the tight ends came out. The top 6 tight ends are right there. And already I have the running backs and the wide receivers are on the page too.
Yeah. Make sure you follow Johnny Lobb at Gridiron Scholar 91. He drops all kinds of great stuff, all the big board stuff. You know, it's great follow on X, and catch
Isn't it weird always saying X now?
Yeah, college. Yeah.
I don't even understand why you do it.
Well, listen, you know what? I usually say Twitter, but John said X earlier, so I was like, oh, you know, I'll say X next time.
I mean, I'm not used to X either, but it is the stupid name of the site, so I have
If you type Twitter into the bar, it will go to the other thing.
I mean, I'll say this: I have high school kids, and they love social media, Snapchat, Instagram. They all call it Twitter.
Yeah.
And these are 16 and 17-year-old kids.
Yeah, we're not abandoning Twitter for some bullshit. We're not doing it.
Isn't it weird to say X? Like, it doesn't even make sense.
No, yeah, it doesn't flow at all. Like
it doesn't flow in a sentence. Nothing.
It's just confusing.
Yes. I agree.
But listen, follow John on X, Twitter, whatever you want to do. I mean, these rookie profiles, the big board stuff that he drops, the YouTubes, are awesome. They're just like little snippets of information, you know, under 20 minutes for the most part. And if you just have, especially guys in Devy leagues, and you're hearing names and you want to know about the rookies, just call me. I don't know much about this guy. Let me click on, Elijah Surratt,
He actually just came out. He's out there now. You can check out Elijah. And we have film now. We have some clips of 22 film, so you can slow it down. You can check it out, see what you like about him, and you'll see if he's covered all the time. He's not an elite separator.
Right. So you get all that tape breakdown, the analytics review, and all that stuff. So yeah, follow this guy. Johnny's been a great friend of the show forever, man. Love having him on. Oh, man. And maybe I'll bug you a little closer to the draft. I don't know what plans you got, but we'll be hanging out for the draft party.
I love to either talk before the draft, or if you want to do something after the draft, that'd be great too. Whatever you gentlemen want.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks, buddy. And, we'll see you soon. And I guess we'll just get out of here, right, Justin?
I think so.
Let's hit the road, Jack. All right. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Dynasty Hot Sauce Pod.
Cast. 1, 2, 3, 4.